you could have had a child, and that child could have gave you like the most beautiful understanding of life and of motherhood or of yourself. It doesn't. So we are basically halfway through the year, and I wanted to check in with myself, check in with the peoples, and name my pit, name my peak, because this year has definitely been a roller coaster in terms of like self-growth, self-evolution, healing, working on myself, facing uncomfortable truths, and dealing with a lot of passings in my family. It's been definitely a year. So my peak is underestimating myself, shrinking myself to keep the room comfortable in a way. Silencing my voice, not because I didn't have anything to say, but because I was afraid of how loud it might sound to people who have never seen someone like me fully step into their power. I really did used to play small on my purpose. I didn't want to outshine anyone. I didn't want to make people feel uncomfortable in a way. I don't know how to explain, but I didn't want to make people feel uncomfortable. But lately, I've been realizing that a lot of people are intimidated by me. Not because I'm doing anything wrong, but just because of who I am, and I don't get it. That kind of is weird to me because I feel like everybody have an importance in life. Everybody is special in a way. Regardless, my special may not be your special may not be my special, but everybody has that unique thing about them. And also because I'm very nice. Like, I give you the shirt off my back. I love to kiki. I love to have a good time. I show up for people. I'm very supportive. Like, I want to see everybody win, especially black women. I love to see black women win. But some people are weird. They throw shade. They try, emphasis on try, to little girl me. And it's weird. Like, it's really weird. And for a second, it made me question myself. I'm not going to lie. But I also had to get honest with myself. I know that I am wise beyond my years. And when you're in room with people, especially people who are older than you, who are just now getting the lessons that you got at 22, it will bother them. It will intimidate them. That admiration turns into jealousy real quick. It gets weird. It gets quiet. But that silence is loud as hell. We're going to talk about my peak. My peak is realizing that even when I did try to dim my light still showed up. Even when I tried to shrink myself, I still took up space. And no matter how I moved, how I tried to silence my voice, like, my light still like came out. And I also learned that the people committed to misunderstanding me still did. So questions came up in my life, like, why play small? Why high? Like, why are you doing this? And I don't give a fuck. Before I didn't give a fuck, but I had a little camera, like, I don't want to do too much. But now it's just like, I don't give a fuck. Either you like me or you don't. Sometimes I'm not the cup of tea you should be drinking, per Amaya words. But you gonna like me. If you gonna like me, you gonna like me. If you don't, you don't. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not performing for approval. I'm not managing how I make people feel. I'm going to be me fully, unapologetically. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be who I am destined to be regardless. But, and this is growth, even when I'm in rooms with people that don't like me, I still choose peace. Admiration mixed with jealousy is a dangerous thing in my opinion. They'll try to poke at you just to bring you down to where they are, just to bring you down to their level. They want to have that I got you moment, or see, she thinks she better than blah, 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 I got her down doing this, she cursing me out. You give the energy back to them when you feed into their negativity. And it really just to make them feel good, just to make them feel comfortable with themselves, to say, you know what, she thinks she all this, and I was able to bring her out of her character. For the most part, a lot of people who are intimidated by you do want you out of your character. And I used to give it to them. I used to snap, but now I walk away from that too, not because I'm weak or because I'm scared, because I'm not, but because I know what projection looks like at its finest. People are not battling me. They're fighting wars within themselves. And there's a lot of grief in that. So I let them have it. I let them deal with that war that they are fighting within themselves, because it has nothing to do with me. And I know what projection looks like. But make no mistake, nobody can little girl me. I'm 26. I'm about to be 27. Not now, not ever. You cannot ever little girl me. I will draw the line. I will put the boundary up, and I will say what I need to say. I will always protect my peace at all costs. But I don't owe anybody like a I'm about to curse this bitch out reaction, especially when they are looking for that reaction just to feel powerful. Also, another peak. The other day, I said in one of my videos, like, my biggest accomplishment is that I'm still alive. That specific video did make me emotional because it hit me like, I'm really doing this. Like, talking on YouTube, 1 view, 2 view, no views, I don't care. People are going to find this when they are aligned. But the fact that I'm still here, still breathing, still alive, that is beautiful. That is a blessing in disguise. It's a miracle. I don't think y'all understand. Like, I found my suicide letter from when I was like maybe middle school. I think I was in middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade maybe. And I just sat with it. Emotional, like, look at me. Like, I'm alive. Like, I'm thriving. I'm finding peace. I'm healing from things I never thought I could heal from. I'm becoming someone I thought I could never be. And there is so much pride in that. There's so much, like, happiness in that. But there's grief in that, too. Because the little girl who wrote that letter, she's still here. She's still walking. She chose to keep walking in. She chose to keep walking in that dark tunnel. Even when it was dark for years, she kept walking and walking and walking and walking until the light finally peeked through. And now I'm looking around like, bitch, that's me. Like, that can't be me. Like, I'm her. Like, that same little girl, still here, still breathing, still becoming. And if my 12-year-old self can see me now, she wouldn't believe it either. But I do, like, I think this is my biggest peak, and I just realized this too, because just like, I was really depressed. I was really like suicidal. I was suffering bad. There would be moments where I was like, I'm gonna take these pills and just end it all. Or I'll just be sitting on the like hotlines, which they never answer the phone. So I was just like, I'm just going to sleep. But I used to just sit there and be like, I can't do this. Like, life is really drowning me. And it's just like, it's really taking me down. And there's a lot of, like, happiness in that. Because, like, look at me. I'm still alive. Like, that's a big accomplishment. Pulling myself out of my darkest battles is the biggest accomplishment I have ever had in my life. Not my degrees, not graduating college, not getting certified in a lot of things, not writing a book, not starting a business, not finally finding my voice, not finally finding like that self-concept. It's me still being alive, me still choosing to live even when I didn't have the will to live, me still choosing to get up and keep going when I didn't have that fight in me to keep going. It's me knowing that I could have, but I didn't, and I stayed with it, and I still chose to, like, be alive. Like, that is crazy. But I'm thankful, and I always show gratitude to God. I always show gratitude to my spirit team, to the universe. I always show gratitude and pour into people, pour into the people that need it, pour into the people that wants pouring into. Yeah, that is my biggest peak. And now that I know all this, I'm walking into the rest of 2025 with a lot of less fear, with no fear at all, because I don't give a fuck, and more faith. I'm going into this, like, rest of this year with like a lot of more gratitude and a lot of more peace and a lot more happiness, and not in just what's coming for me, because I know there's a lot of big things coming for me, but in who I am while it comes, and who I embody while it comes, and how I stay true and honor myself. That's all I can do. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all comment down y'all pick and y'all peak for the half of this year, and then we can come back to like December, or we can do January 1st. Or no, we're gonna do December 29th. And just say, like, what is our pits? Where is our peaks? Where are we now in this journey? Like, regardless of if it's the smallest peak, you feel like, the smallest pit, and it's just like, well, that's not really, doesn't matter. Even if it's like the smallest peak and you feel like it don't matter, it matters, because You overcame something. You accomplished something. You did something. You poured into yourself. You could have had a child, and that child could have gave you like the most beautiful understanding of life and of motherhood or of yourself. It doesn't matter what it is. Post it, comment it down below, and tune into the next video.